In section 1.3, we'll look at addition and the properties of addition. In addition of whole numbers, we will review adding numbers. Addition is the combining of groups of objects or numbers. There's a couple of vocabulary words. Add-ins are the numbers that you add together, and the sum is the answer to the addition problem. To add, we total the numbers in the same place value, meaning we add the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, etc. When the sum of a place value is greater than 9, we carry a digit to the next place value column. So by this point, you all should be able to add columns of numbers together. Next, we'll look at the properties of addition. First, the commutative property of addition. And in this property, the order in which you add numbers together does not matter. So for example, 17 plus 24 is the same as 24 plus 17. The next property is the associative property of addition. When calculating the sum of three numbers, it makes no difference whether you add the first two numbers together first and then add the third number, or if you add the last two together and then add the first number. If you look at the examples, you can see that the numbers that we're adding together first are enclosed in parentheses. So on the left-hand side, we're adding 13 plus 5 first, and then the 9. And on the right-hand side, we're adding the 5 plus 9 first, and then the 13. And since addition is also commutative, you could rearrange the numbers, and you could add the 13 plus 9 first, and then add the 5. The next property is the identity property. The additive identity is 0. So any number added to 0 is that number. Example, 0 plus 144 is 144, and 67 plus 0 equals 67. Now we'll look at subtraction. Subtraction is the opposite or inverse operation to addition. You can check a subtraction problem by using addition. In subtraction, we take away a group of objects or numbers from a larger group. There are some vocabulary words. The minuend is the number you are subtracting from. The subtrahend is the number you are subtracting, and the difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. And here's an example at the bottom where you can see they've labeled the minuend, the subtrahend, or the difference. And they've done the problem, 82 minus 49 is 33. And they showed you how you can check addition. You can check subtraction by addition by adding the difference plus the subtrahend, and you should get the minuend. So in other words, in this problem, 33 plus 49 must equal 82, and it does. At this time, you should know how to subtract, and sometimes we have to subtract with borrowing. And for right now, we can only subtract smaller numbers from a larger number. And so we subtract numbers in the same place value. If a number is larger than the one we are subtracting from, we can borrow from the next place value. When we borrow, reduce by 1 the number in the place value we borrow from, and add it to the number in the place value we cannot subtract. So here's an example where we're subtracting 84 minus 56. I can't subtract 6 from 4, so I borrow from the 8. In the tens place, that becomes a 7, and the 4 becomes 14. I now can subtract 6 from 14, which is 8, and then 5 from 7, which is 2. There are no properties of subtraction, but we can do estimation with subtraction and addition. And sometimes with estimation, you do not need an exact number, but just an estimate. We get estimates all the time from car mechanics and from carpenters. Estimates are good for adding a column of numbers when an exact value is not needed. To calculate an estimate, you round each number to its highest place value. So if I want to find the estimate of 315 plus 219 plus 496, I would round the numbers. So 315 would round to the hundreds place, which would be 300. 219 would round to the thousands place, which is 2000. And 496 would round to the hundreds place, which would round to 500. So I would add 300 plus 2000 plus 500 and get 2800. So the estimate of 315 plus 2019 plus 496 is 2800. And on this slide, what I've given you are just some, when you are writing a mathematical expression from a verbal expression, these are keywords that indicate what operation to use. So if you see the sum of the key phrase, that means addition, increased by means addition, plus means addition, more than means addition, total of, and added to. Some keywords for subtractions are difference of, decreased by, minus, less than, subtracted from, and subtract.